One way that we can create animated diagrams for science is using Google Slides. So what I've done here is just created a basic model of plate convergence between an oceanic and continental plate. And I just used basically the drawing tool. So these are just rectangles. I typed inside these and then some arrows. Once I set up my basic slide, I either can right click here and do duplicate slide here, or I could also just go up to slide, duplicate slide. So it made me a copy. And then what I did was I added one more shape right here, and it kind of shows the start of this plate converging and diving beneath the continental plate. So then I copied this one, and it's the same slide, except I just took this little box from the last one and I just extended it. So now I'm showing that motion. Same here, I just extended it further, and then I added just a little shape. It makes it look like it's melting into the convecting mantle here. So I can continue to add shapes, and then when I want to actually present the animation, what I want to do is I want to go up to File, and I want to go to Publish to the Web. And here's where I can have it auto advance every second or every 3 seconds, depending on what they want to do. And then you get a link. So let me go to this link now. And when I play this demo of what I've made so far, you'll see every second I'm getting a new part of the animation. Now what I could do is I could actually lengthen out each portion of that animation, so I can make them like 3 seconds each, and I could do a voiceover using a free screencasting tool, which I'll show in a minute. One of the other nice things about doing an animation in Google Slides is I can pull in all kinds of images to make this work. So if I wanted to pull in a volcano to demonstrate what happens right at the boundary, I could do a Google search, and I can drag that image right into here, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but it worked in this case. And I can put that right into my presentation. The other option that's nice with Google Slides is I can go to the Explore button, and I can type in volcano and go to images, and these are all Creative Commons images, and it's not really a clip art, so maybe if I search for volcano clip art, that'll look better. There we go. So these are all images that I could use as well. So that's kind of nice because we don't just have to use these draw tools, we can add other graphics as well. Now as far as screencasting goes, so let's say you want your students to actually make a video with voices on it. What I would recommend is go ahead and do that, publish to web, and then they'll have to pick how many seconds they want. I think every 5 seconds might suffice. And then they go to that link. So here's my link. And then what they're going to do is use something called a screencasting app or extension. There are a few that are on that list of apps and extensions that I gave you at the beginning of the year. I know Screencastify is one. Another favorite of mine, and I actually use the pro version of this, is Screencast-O-Matic, and they do have a free web-based version. So they can come here, and they can actually start recording just their plain old screen, which is really nice. I know you said no watermarks, but I do believe this might leave a watermark if you don't have the full version. But the free version is really inexpensive. It's $15 a year, so maybe that's a tool you would want for your students. You could create, one classroom account that they could use. But anywho, if I have a screencasting, tool, all I have to do is hit play, and then as a student, I'd record my voice over it. So I'd say, here we have two plates that are converging. When the more dense oceanic plate meets, it begins to dive under the less dense granite plate, and it continues to go down into the convecting mantle until at a point when it reaches a certain heat, that plate is going to start to melt back into the convecting mantle, and then it will reappear at another plate boundary. So that's kind of an example. You can see how I kind of slowed down the animation, and my voice could be on top of that. And those videos then can be saved to students' Google's Drive. So that's a few more steps, but I'd be happy to show you if you ever have any questions. So that's how you can use Google Slide to make animated presentations, and I hope you found it helpful.